When you come to a crossroad and run into the winner and the quitter in you, listen to the winner. The quitter will never take you down the road you want to travel. I believe we all have a winner in us. There is a winner inside of you. Sometimes we just have been around negativity for way too long, developed the mindset of a winner. The truth is, most people give up on their dream. Most people give up on their dream to live the average lifestyle. But it really doesn't matter what most people do. What do you do? Because you are different. You will never give up on your dream. You will never not listen to the average. You will always listen to the winner in you. You will believe in yourself when no one else does. You will believe in yourself when you have no reason to believe, and you will never, ever quit. I know some of you are going through a rough time right now. Some of you are going through the fight of your life, fighting for your future, fighting for your career, fighting for your family. Some of you are fighting for your life. And I'm telling you, don't quit. Do not give in. I know life can be tough. I know life can wear you down. But if you just stick it out, even if you don't get the result you will find, the character you show will be your reward. The fighting spirit you develop will be the reward, and it will serve you well for the rest of your life. Fight for what you want now, or fight against what you don't want later. You choose. Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare settle. Don't you dare get back down. Not today or any other day. When the tough moments come, never forget you are in that moment writing your own legacy. In that tough moment, you are setting the standard for your character. Do you have the character? Well, do you? When you come to a crossroad and run into the winner and the quitter in you, listen to the winner. When you make a commitment to yourself, you make sure you see it through. Never, ever quit. Even if you don't get the result, you will find the character you show will be your reward. Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare ever settle, and don't you dare ever back down. Fight for what you want or fight against what you don't want at a later time. And always know that God is right there with you. Just allow God to guide and direct you, and you will always be a winner. Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an author, an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and the host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today radio show. You can also see a video version of this on YouTube if you go to Take Your Life Back Today show on YouTube. This morning, it's early Saturday morning, I want to talk about the gift everybody needs. Find somebody to be good to every single day. I really wonder what our world would be like if each of us would find somebody to be good to each and every day. What would our city be like? What would our offices be like? What would our schools be like if we just made it a priority to brighten somebody else's day each and every day? Scriptures are pretty clear. They teach us every opportunity we have, we should go and do good to people. That's in Galatians 6:10. Go look it up. That means we need to be on the lookout. We need to be proactive. We need to have the mindset of, who can I bless today? For whom can I do a favor? You can't just sit back and wait for the need to come to you. You have to go after it starting this morning. The scripture also says that in the last days, the love of the great body of people will grow cold in Timothy 3:1. That simply means that people will be so busy, they'll be so focused on their own needs, they'll be so caught up in their drive for success that they won't take the time to make a difference. Sometimes it's easy for us to get so caught up in our own little world that we're focused only on ourselves. We'll say, I've got my plans. Don't get me off my schedule. I'd love to help you out with some work around your house, but I'm sorry, this is football season. Folks, stop with that. Don't say, I just don't have time. But we weren't created to live selfishly. We were created to make a difference in the lives of other people. John Bunyan, author of the classics Pilgrim Progress, said, quote, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone that cannot pay you back," unquote. Those are Strong words, my friends. Friends, all around us are hurting people who need our love and encouragement. Don't miss the miracle of the moment. Don't be too busy or insensitive to the needs of those around you. Be willing to be inconvenienced. Be sensitive and pay attention to those around you, your friends, your co-workers, and your relatives. Listen to what they're saying. We shouldn't miss opportunities to do good whenever the situations come across. Our path is to bless people each and every day. Jesus said, quote, when you do it to the least of one of these, it's like you're doing it unto me, in Matthew 25:40. In Proverbs 19:17 says, he who is gracious is to a poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his good deed. When you give to those in need, you are lending to God, and God knows how to pay you back with interest. I guarantee it, my friends. You may not be able to give money, but you can babysit a single mother's child. Why don't you give her a break one night? Tell her you do something special for yourself. Here's a gift certificate. You go to the mall. You get your nails done. Our family is going to keep your children tonight. If you see one of your friends wearing the same clothes over day after day, each and every day, why don't you step up to the plate and say, let me buy you a new suit, or even two. Or take this gift certificate and get yourself some new clothes. Simple things like that make a difference. Maybe you and your family go out to eat every Sunday after church. Why don't you take a single parent and their family along with you? Or better yet, be a mentor to one of those young children. Be a role model. That doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes time, and it takes love. That just takes somebody that cares, somebody that's willing to make a difference. Friends, I heard a story about a young boy that lived in the inner city. He was about 8 years old and was very poor. His family was very poor. One cold day, he was looking in the window of a local store, admiring a pair of tennis shoes. As he stood there, cold and barefooted, a lady came along and asked, young man, what are you doing staring so intently in this window? Shyly, he said, well, I was just sort of praying and asking God if he'd give me a new pair of tennis shoes like the ones in the window. Without hesitation, the lady took him into the store and very gently and lovingly washed off his cold, dirty feet. She put a brand new pair of socks on his feet. Then she told him to pick out three new pairs of tennis shoes. The boy couldn't believe it. He was so excited. He had never owned a new pair of tennis shoes. He'd always just worn old hand-me-downs. After she had paid for the purchase, the woman handed the shoes to the child. Friends, and she says, quote unquote, enjoy your shoes, son. The little boy looked at her in amazement. Nobody had ever taken the kind of interest in him. As serious as could be, with tears running down his cheeks, he said, lady, can I ask you a question? Are you God's wife? Friend, you are never more like God than when you give. You are never more like God than when you take the time for people, than when you do something to bless someone else. And not just in the big things, but also learn to be good to people in your everyday life. When you stop to get a cup of coffee at work, bring your co-worker back a cup too. When traffic backs up on the freeway, let that car into the lane in front of you. At the grocery store, when you have a bunch of groceries and somebody behind you has just a few things, let them go ahead of you. Or how about in the parking lot when you pull up to a last front row parking space at the same time as another car? Why don't you back up and let them get into that space? Do you see where I'm going with this, my friends? Do you want another simple way of blessing someone? When you're at a restaurant, be a good tipper. Don't leave that server a dollar bill when you just spent $30 to eat. Well, I shared my testimony when person said, I invited our waitress to a church. That's fine, but don't cancel your testimony by your measly tip. God's people believe in being good to people. We believe in showing God's kindness wherever we go. When I tip people, I tell my wife, we're going to sow a seed into that person's life. Here's an opportunity to bless someone with our words and with our money. When I leave that place, I want that server to be able to say that couple is sure, generous, they are good to people. Love is seen in our actions. This world does not need to hear another sermon nearly as much as it needs to see us being good to other people. That, my friends, is how to learn to give your time, your money, and your encouragement words to someone else. When you show love, you are showing God to the world. And don't worry if you don't get any credit for it. When you let somebody in traffic in front of you, you may never see that person again. When you give somebody $20 because you had compassion in your heart, you may never hear back from them. But let me assure you, this early Saturday morning, God is keeping the records. He's seen every time you've been good to somebody, and He's heard every encouragement word you have spoken. God has seen all the times you went out of your way to help somebody, but they never even said thank you. The scripture clearly says that when you do good things in secret, when you do good things without getting any credit, when nobody thanks you, God sees it, and you will even receive a greater reward from Him. It's one thing to make a big splash and let everybody know how generous you are, but if you really want to be blessed, really want to get blessed, do something good for somebody and don't tell anybody about it. Leave some cash in an unmarked envelope on the desk of that co-worker that's struggling to make ends meet. At the restaurant, buy somebody's dinner and remain anonymous. Clean up the kitchen at the office and don't tell anyone that you have done it. When you do things in secret and you don't get any credit, you are sowing a seed for God to do great things in your life. Or maybe you overhear one of your co-workers saying, next week I've got to take my car in to the shop. Friends, I don't want what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to get to work. Why don't you tell her, let me swing by in the mornings and pick you up? Oh, no, that's way too far, she may say, or he. It's out of your way. Friends, it's not out of your way because you're doing for Christ. You're doing for God. Sow that seed starting today, this early Saturday morning. Call me at 844-405-HELP because we can help each other take our lives back. Be good to yourselves. According to my sermon just now, be good to yourself, but always be good to others. A simple smile to that stranger next door can help that person forever and can change your life. May God bless each and every one of you. Get out your little shovels and start sowing seeds this early morning, and may God always be with you. May God bless you. Take good care of yourself.